Not a bad way to start Lent, eh? Shoveling snow. Well, here we go again. Right here we are in Lent, and you know what? This is not our first rodeo. We've done this before. For some, this might be your 15th Lent, your 20th, 40th, 70th, 85th Lent. We know the drill, right? We know how to do this. You know, give up a bit of this, give up a bit of that, add a bit of prayer here, add a bit of prayer there. But what for? What for? With so many Lents under our belts, we might feel sometimes that we're professional Lenters. But there's a danger to that. There's a danger that Lent becomes the same every year. That Lent is the same, and it doesn't really change us. And it doesn't really draw us closer to God. How can we make sure that this Lent, be different? For that, let's use an image. Let's use an image of an athlete. An athlete knows what he's training for. The athlete also knows for how long he needs to train. The athlete knows that training and preparation is extremely important. For us, our training, our preparation, the duration of our training and our preparation lasts 40 days. 40 days is symbolic to the 40 days that Jesus spent in the desert wilderness, as we heard in today's gospel, when he himself fasted and prayed and fought temptation. But 40 is also the amount of days and nights that rained in the time of Noah during the flood. 40 is also the number of days and nights that Moses fasted and prayed before receiving the 10 Commandments from God, the covenant of God for his people. 40 is also the number of years that the Israelites journeyed in the desert from the slavery of Egypt into the freedom of the Promised Land. So we see that 40 days for Lent isn't a coincidence. 40 isn't just a purely symbolic number. It's not a random number. 40, biblically speaking, is a period of time when God prepares his people. It's a symbolic time, a time where God particularly acts to prepare his people for something in particular. That's why we have 40 days. 40 days where God prepares us, a sacred time. The next 40 days, a sacred time. That's the duration of our preparation. But as a good athlete as well, the athlete knows that this duration of training is for a specific day, for race day, for recital day, whatever it is, at the end of the training. For us, the end point of Lent is Easter. The entire structure, the entire purpose of Lent has its direction towards Easter. It's directed towards Easter, where we celebrate our Lord's passion, death, and resurrection. And at that time, on Easter Day, when we all renew our baptismal promises, our baptismal commitments to the Lord. Easter isn't just any other day. It's not just another Sunday in the calendar for us. Because at Easter, we celebrate the single greatest, most amazing, most powerful event of all of human history. At Easter, we celebrate where our Lord, in his passion and his death, but also in his resurrection, brought us from death to life. Brought this entire world from a kingdom of darkness into a kingdom of light. And St. Peter, in our first reading today, reminds us of that. Reminds us of the central importance of this reality. St. Peter, in the opening of our reading today, said this: "Beloved, Christ suffered for sins once for all, the righteous for the unrighteous, in order to bring you to God." Christ suffered for sins in order to bring you to God. His passion his death, his resurrection, what we celebrate at Easter, in order to bring you to God. That's how much you matter to him. That's how much you, individually, by name, matter to the Lord. What we celebrate at Easter is an event, yes, that happened 2,000 years ago, but an event that still has ripple effects today. An event that still has ripple effects in our life, in your life today. But as many things that happened a long time ago, let alone 2,000 years ago, those ripples can go undetected. Those ripples can go unseen, unappreciated. That's why at Easter we bring those events back to life. Lent is a preparation time so that we can say yes to those events in our life in a new way, so that we can make them our own once again. This Lent is this time of preparation where we make our Lord's passion, death, and resurrection, his love for you, to make it our own. Easter allows that to really sink into our hearts, and then to respond when we renew our baptismal promises. So I see it like this: the key to Lent is to see it as a time, a sacred time, a time of grace, where God is working in a particular way. 40 days, a sacred time, when he will be working in your life. He will be acting in your life. The 40 days are like a catalyst, right? A chemist knows what a catalyst does. The 40 days is like a catapult, I guess, to use another image, to speed up the transformation process, to propel us to greater heights, so that we can make Easter, our Lord's passion, his death, his resurrection, his love, to bring you back to God, as we hear in the second reading, to make that central, key, once again, in our life. Brothers and sisters, we've all have many things that or a few things maybe that we're doing in this time of Lent. We know that we heard in the Gospel of Ash Wednesday that our Lord presents to us prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, right? The usual three things. The key to really make sure that this Lent be a different Lent is to do these things, do these small things intentionally. That with fasting, whatever it is that we might have given up, that we do it intentionally. That we do it intentionally so that the Lord might reveal to us just how much really we hunger for him. That it might really reveal to us how much really we are restless without him. That whatever it is that we've done or that we're looking to do in terms of our almsgiving, in terms of our charity towards others, that we might be intentional about it. And that through that the Lord might show us how much it is that we are called to serve and to love our brothers and sisters. And that whatever it is that we're doing in terms of prayer, whatever it is, little more praying that we might be doing, that we might do that intentionally, so that we might realize that deep down, only God can satisfy our hearts, that only God can satisfy the deeper longings of our heart. So my prayer for you this Lent is that this might be a different Lent. A Lent when we each go deeper, where the Lord allows us to go deeper, to really sink into our hearts just how much he loves you. To really let sink in our hearts just how much this time is a time to prepare ourselves to respond to that love once again in a fresh way, in a new way. The athlete trains and prepares for race day. We as Christians train and prepare. In these 40 days, we prepare to respond once again, anew, to the Lord by saying, "Yes, Lord, you died for me. Now I want to live for you."